got into office, he said the thing that is going to happen, all these IDs, passports, will be expedited as soon as possible.
Yes.
And so when Kenyans heard it will be taking the longest 2 weeks, a lot of them went. But up to today, this is 1 year and some weeks plus. People have not gotten. The same government is talking about creating jobs abroad. There's no abroad you can go without proper traveling documents. And these documents start from ID, then you go and seek for passport. You cannot get. How are those jobs then going to be beneficial? Can we have a system? Because we have no system. I think that's what Shankara was saying. Currently, there are no systems.
The question is it ever necessary for us to pay school fee via e-citizen? Lucy.
Thank you, Simba. By our constitution, every child is entitled to free and compulsory education.
No, sir.
Free and compulsory. That means it should be quality education. Even when you want to eat a quality meal, you must bring on quality ingredients. And I don't think what they are bringing in right now is quality ingredient. And I agree with Mutai. If there is anything, even a child, you start by winning, not just starting. My question is, why so sudden change without public participation? Our constitution says public participation. Did they participate? Were even the teachers or the teachers or parents involved anywhere?
Yes.
I've talked to several principals and they're just like they don't know what is next. Question number 2, what is going to happen if they have a system? I'm hoping they have included all this. What's going to happen to parents who pay in kind? There are some parents, you would go to a school, a watchman works there just for his children to get education, to be allowed to stay in school. Some bring firewood. I cannot afford anything else. Mwalimu, wait until I harvest my beans or maize. Then I'll just get it, cook for the children, and then let my children stay in school. I have seen and have participated. Sometimes there are cases where other students, even teachers, they contribute for a certain student so that they are not going to lose maybe during their exams. Are you telling me that all these students, they are going now to contribute and send to e-citizen? Some things, we need that clarification. And that clarification can be there if there is participation. Because what we are doing right now, it is not, I said, we are talking very pertinent issues here. It's not just an argument for the sake of arguing. It is things, they touch on real lives. We are talking to real Kenyans. We are talking to devastated principals. Running a school has a lot of emergencies. Yeah? Here you are, you need to eat this, maybe this one, maybe you didn't have even unga, the one you had in store, nimbaya. So immediately you need to go and buy unga. What do you use? How long will it take to access that money which is there? And they said, I think you have to write a proposal. And then, how schools cannot work like that. Some of these principals in the schools, actually not even, I was shocked to hear someone like Sosion, who has been a teacher for the longest. He knows the challenges that the schools have.
Yes, I would, yes, I
imagine, it's a yes, I would say. Yeah, because how would you, someone like this who is so respected, even what to be the former principals who worked with him, they say, can I finish?
Let her clear.
Yes.
In a minute, Lucy.
How are the principals going to access that money
Yes.
to purchase what they want.
Yes.
And what was wrong with the previous method, especially for schools? And I heard you say that it's just for the sake to make sure that they do it under the comfort of their own roofs.
Yes.
My brother here said most parents, and I can also attest to that, they have kandude. They may not have a TV that you can even do it there. And you tell them comfortably stay with your kadunde and it will be easy for you. They don't even know. The first thing, have they even educated these parents? Did they call them to tell them, when we say e-citizen, what do we mean exactly?
Many people don't know.
They don't even know what e-citizen, not even the uneducated ones. Even educated, people are computer literate. I think you should have started there. And that's where participation comes in. The e-citizen already has a underscand of 5.6 million. How sure are we this money for parents would be safe there? The government already has a lot of monies for schools, the capitation, which is now in the hands of the government. It's supposed to disburse it to the schools. It has not even happened yet. The 22,224 shillings that each child is supposed to get at the beginning of every term, they were promised this term that they would get 50% of that, and 50% is like 11,000. From what I have done, I've done research, collected from parents, I've collected from teachers. That one has not happened. The principals are still, they are already struggling. And remember, this was not like asking them, can we do it gradually? No,
Douglas,
there was already a deadline yesterday. By yesterday, all the principals should have submitted or anything in relation to their finances.
I'm going to point you out to another issue that I essentially want you to point out to. And this is exactly what it is, currently as it is. There's a story here about how there are claims of lack of even printing material in the immigration department and broken machines that are essentially leading the government to have this backlog of passports and IDs as well. The question has been, if you are indeed paying for this particular service, all this money is essentially go to the consolidated fund before then Treasury releases this money to these various departments. Is it not okay then for the government to give the immigration department priority in the sense of if Lucy pays 7,000 shillings or 14,000 shillings for their passport, then all this money goes back to giving Lucy the service instead of taking it to the consolidated fund for the government to share these monies in the various departments? Is that what the government has to do now?
Simba, first of all, it's about the efficiency of the e-citizen. We had Uduma registration that spent a lot of Kenyans' money. And all of a sudden, someone went to court and it was nullified. Why do people go to court? It's because the right procedures were not followed. It's because people were not consulted. They were just forced to swallow things, and then the court says, and then we are told that money now disappeared, you have to start another process. The question of ID is a scam, because the minister, Kinditi, when he talked to Kenyans, when the Kenya Kwanza government was just got into office, he said the thing that is going to happen, all these IDs, passports will be expedited as soon as possible. And so when Kenyans heard it will be taking the longest 2 weeks, a lot of them went. But up to today, this is 1 year and some weeks plus. People have not gotten. The same government is talking about creating jobs abroad. There's no abroad you can go without proper traveling documents. And these documents start from ID, then you go and seek for passport. You cannot get. How are those jobs then going to be beneficial? Here we have another huge problem to the people who come from the northeastern part, Isiolo, Marsabit, and those areas. They do what they call vetting. And we have had people who have been vetted for the last 3 years and they never gotten the ID. Are you telling me they are not Kenyans? Why is that vetting? You are vetted and then at the end of the day you are there. you don't get anything. We also have another vetting, these IDs. You know, in other normal countries, if someone hata azaliwe kwa anga ya Kenya, you're on the plane, and then the kid falls there, that kid is Kenyan. We have a lot of street children in Kenya today. And a lot of them, those are some of the problems we were saying, where are people killing, where are people drinking? IDs is a problem. Because ID, how do you even go to work? Even a watchman without an ID, you have no identity. How would you seek a job from me?
Yes.
I will ask you, where is your ID? You cannot go to a school, to a college without an ID. How would I do that? So these systems, actually there's any systems which are broken are these systems which are there currently.
Yes.
Because we need IDs, your ID, and for your information, is your right.
Yes.
It's not even something to be requesting.
Pretty much.
You have the right to get your ID.
Yes.
And we want the people of Northeastern not to be disturbed. We want them to be given the IDs because they are born in Kenya. This is their country. Even if you are born. The street children, before I finish,
yes,
the street children are Kenyans. They want to go to school. They want to work. And then there are so many of them. Actually, when Wagenis are coming to Kenya, you go into hiding them. You hide them. I've also taken care of street children for the longest, and I know a lot of them, they cannot even go to a driving school because they have no ID.
Yes.
You are telling them, prove. Bring your mother, bring your father. This is a kid who has been on the streets. If they and their mother and their father, they will not be on the street.
Does it?
Can we have a system? Because we have no system. I think that's what Shankara was saying. Currently, there are no systems. In IDs, we need the Northeastern people from Isiolo up to be respected.
Yes.
This nonsense of saying, oh, you are very fine, you verify children. Their children, I know they have not gone to school. They have been admitted to universities even abroad, but they cannot go because they have no IDs. This is making Kenyans suffer. They are already suffering, and this is the same thing that is affecting their parents now. They are affecting their parents. I know somebody who got a scholarship, I mean to go abroad, a poor kid from a poor family, and then they were unable to get an ID to get themselves, I mean a passport, and go for that scholarship which was free. So we're suffering. The ASOLA. What I would say, before this government came in, it was an ASOLA, it is Mama Bogas and ASOLA's government, right? Right now, the Mama Bogas, they have become Boga themselves. Because of the wamekuliwa na wanaendelea, they have become Boga themselves.
Yes.
They have not, their kids can't get a job, they cannot get an ID. If you lose your ID again, it takes forever. As I finish, I would like actually to request the mobilizer. I'm glad you're here. Please make sure, like you said, the parliamentarians to come up to make sure that there is public participation, to respect the rule of law, to respect the Kenyans, to respect the parents, to respect
some
principals.
Of them don't understand what is in the
Constitution. They don't even understand.
The only thing they know is, yes, sir, Mr. President.
To make sure that these parents actually understand even what citizen is, and to make sure that they tell them, at least if someone has any dignity, even if you are coming to somebody's house and you are late, you usually say, I'm sorry, I'll be late. Then how come our government cannot stand there? We are the backlogs we are talking about.
Yes.
The Kenyans will be put straight. If you are supposed to go to school abroad and you don't have your ID, you say whoever is sponsoring you.